Today's a cereal day, and usually we rotate our breakfast a little bit, and today we have cereal, and I have some, what do I have? I have
Honey
some toasted
bunches of
oats.
oats.
I have this, but, honey bunches of oats, and then you have some yogurt and some
And a granola
bar, and then we have blueberries and some almond milk. And then every other day, then we have waffles, and we also have an egg breakfast too. So we've been rotating 3 breakfasts.
Exciting stuff.
Really exciting stuff, and it's Monday, so I don't know why I just had to mention it's Monday, even though it's probably already going to be
On the screen.
It'll be on screen already. Hope everyone has a great week. So this is going to be a bit of a special vlog because we are going to take a quick trip tomorrow to see Elvis Costello with Steve Naive. It's just the two of them performing, and I've been a big Elvis Costello fan for many years, and have seen Elvis Costello. I think this will be the 7th time that I've seen him. I've seen him with a band. I've seen him with the Attractions. I think the first time I saw him was in the early 1980s, and I've just been a big fan for years. But I thought I would show, since we're leaving tomorrow for the trip, I thought I would show what I have in terms of physical media for Elvis Costello. Let me know too in the comments if you're a fan, and maybe you have something that I don't. But this is Elvis Costello live, A Case for Song. You can see the song listing on the back here, all the songs. And then I've got Elvis Costello live in Liverpool, at the Liverpool Philharmonic Hall, featuring Larkin Poe. And there's, again, a pretty extensive list of new and old songs. Lots of great stuff on that one. That's a Blu-ray. The other one was a DVD. This is the Hot as a Pistol, Keen as a Blade, Elvis Costello and Alan Toussaint, Alan Toussaint collaborated with Costello. And this has, again, lots of tracks here, lots of old and new tracks on this one, some bonus information, band introductions, interviews, and things like that, which looks really good. Elvis Costello hosted a TV show, which I thought was great. I don't have season 2, but this is the season 1 of a show called Spectacle, where he did interviews with a lot of musicians. I thought it was great, and he would play songs with them. You can see the list. I think the list of, this may be hard to read on the screen here, but I'll just read a little bit. Sir Elton John, Tony Bennett, Lou Reed, The Police, Smokey Robinson. It's got this like rainbow color here, so it's harder. It may be harder to read, but some of the songs here. But anyway, great interviews. I love the one that he did with Lou Reed on this one, and anyway, so that's a great little series. And I still need to pick up season 2. I love this one. It's called The Right Spectacle, the very best of Elvis Costello, the videos. So these are all the music videos that he did. This is probably one of the first DVDs I picked up also, but these are some of the videos that were shown probably on MTV at the time. And some that, if you're a Costello fan, you've probably seen a lot of these too. You probably have seen a lot of these, but these are the classic ones that were shown early on. And then I also have this Elvis Costello and the Imposters live in Memphis. This was done at a small club. This is a DVD, but again, you can see that it's got quite a few songs. Some bonus songs, special features. There's a road trip feature on this one that I really like, where Elvis goes on a road trip with Pete Thomas, the drummer, and there's some songs with Emmylou Harris on this. So we are very excited to be going to see Elvis Costello, and it's going to be probably a very intimate show. It's in a theater, but we should have some pictures, maybe a little bit of video of our trip and the theater, and so we're really excited about it because we, as you know, probably from watching the vlog, we rarely leave the house, and so this is a chance for us to kind of get out a little bit. And we love going to see concerts. We just haven't been to a concert in quite a long time, so we're really excited to go see this one. So we're on the road today, going to see a show on Tuesday night. So we left a little while back. The weather's pretty nice today. It's a little bit warmer than usual. And so we'll share some of that with you in this vlog. And I'm really excited about it. We're going to see Elvis Costello, which we've seen a number of times. This will be our fourth time together, but seventh time for me seeing Elvis Costello, playing with Steve Naive as keyboardist. So it should be a really interesting, intimate kind of show, and we're really looking forward to it. We made it to the hotel. We're staying in a Marriott, just one night only, but I thought since we don't usually travel too much, I would just do a quick room tour. It's just like a single room. I'll turn the camera around a little bit too so you can see a little bit more, but here's the bed over here, and there's a table with right below the TV. We haven't tried out the TV yet, but that looks pretty cool. And then over here, I think this is listed as maybe a deluxe room, but there's another place to sit or to look at your phone, I suppose, or
like
do some reading.
Like window seat.
Yeah, reading. Oh yeah,
Like
that's right.
Let me see. There's overhead lights.
Oh yeah. Okay. So we have overhead lights here, which is kind of nice. And then there's an area where you can look out, which I think is just on the downtown area. And then over here on the side table, there's a clock, and then I guess these are USB ports over here.
Yeah.
Does it look like USB ports over here?
Yeah.
Plugs and things like that, which is really the same on the other side. This is the first time we've done a kind of a room tour, right? Hasn't it?
Yeah.
So, and then over here, this is where we came in. There's a microwave and a fridge, and a place to hang our coats and put our shoes, which is nice. And then I'll show the bathroom here real quick. The bathroom was nice too, I felt like. Here's the bathroom. Here is the bathroom. So you got a nice sink and mirror, a couple of mirrors here too. And then the shower looks really nice. It's got one of those like rainforest heads in the shower. That's pretty nice. Some nice paintings. And we're back. And we're back. It's very quiet here so far, right? It is a Tuesday night, so
Yeah.
maybe that's the reason why. But I think this is our first room tour that we've done on the vlog. So maybe if we do more traveling, we'll do more of these. But so far, we're pretty happy with the room. We can walk to the theater where the concert is tonight. We're going to see Elvis Costello and Steve Naive together. So it's just the two of them together, which if you know Elvis Costello, he usually performs with a band. But just the two of them together. We've been looking at the set lists, and probably in this vlog, I'll go over the set list a little bit and let you know what we heard tonight. We haven't. We're gonna have some dinner, and then we'll go to the concert, which is just in walking distance from our hotel, which is nice. I just wanted to show a little bit more of this area, just the nightstand. I have these new clocks, which I guess I haven't seen these newer clocks because we haven't been in a hotel in a while, but it looks like the clocks have USB ports on them, and probably some standard alarm settings, which we haven't tried out. But then also here, there are some regular plugs, and then you've got some more USB charging areas, and then this little lamp that turns on and off with a little button there. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, it seems like this is a hotel we've been to before, but it seems like they've done a few upgrades, which is kind of nice. One of the other things we like to do is we usually bring a lot of water to our room because we like to have water on hand, and obviously you're going to pay for water. If it's in the room, you're going to pay extra for the water, so we bring some along with us. This is a pretty short trip, but we brought some extra water with us, and we like to stay hydrated.
That's right. Is it hand sanitizer?
Is the hand sanitizer? Oh, yeah.
I'm not gonna find out.
We just ordered, we just got a couple burgers before the show, and so we'll show you that. You can see a little bit of the downtown area where we're at right now, and we'll show the theater too once we get there.
There's people behind you now.
Are there? I think I blocked out the TV so you could talk.
Oh, that's good. What am I supposed to say?
Say where we're at.
We're just at dinner, and then we're gonna walk to the theater that's not that far from here. The music's really loud in here.
Music's loud, yeah.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to having a burger. We haven't had that much to eat today because we had to drive like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're having some fun.
Yeah.
So you got the root beer.
Yeah. Root beer.
Root beer. And I got an iced tea. Standard iced tea. There's the root beer. How is it?
It's good.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
We've learned from other bloggers that the camera eats first. So this is our cheeseburger, the house cheeseburger we got with some fresh cut fries, a couple of pickles, and we got our burgers well done. And you got yours. It's the same. Oh, this is a nice kind of a side.
Yeah.
Another side shot.
But you got 2 pickles and I got no pickles.
Oh, you can have one of my pickles then. Yeah.
You don't have to point at all. Okay.
So we just got back from the show. The show started a little bit after 8 and ended right around 10 o'clock. We saw Elvis Costello and Steve Naive. Steve Naive, of course, one of the attractions, the keyboard player for the attractions, and has been with Elvis for a long time. And I really liked the show a lot. There were some high points and low points, but overall I think it was pretty good. I mean, we played for 2 hours straight. That's a long time.
Yeah. It was good. Yeah.
We're pretty tired because we're not used to, we traveled some today. We ate out. We went to a concert.
I was thinking we don't usually sit in one spot for 2 hours.
Yeah, it was hard to sit. Sometimes these old theaters, this was in a state theater, and sometimes the theaters, the seats are very not as comfortable, right?
And small.
And they're very small. But I think he played a lot of the hits. If you know Elvis Costello's catalog, I'll have to run down, once we get back home, I'll have to run down the set list exactly, but I liked how he played Less Than Zero, Accidents Will Happen, Allison, a little bit of Every Day I Write the Book, I Can't Stand Up for Falling Down, which I thought was really good at the end of the show.
Yeah.
He kind of mixes it up. We weren't really sure what we were going to get, but he played at least one song off Punch the Clock. He played some songs off Imperial Bedroom. He played The Long Honeymoon, which was really good. Mm-hmm. And lots of surprises, so it was pretty nice. But anything else did you like about the show?
I thought it was good. I thought it had a lot of variety. The crowd was very respectful, except for like that one guy in the back that was kind of loud. But because we've been to Costello shows before where people have been very loud.
Very loud, yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's one point where he came out in the crowd, which I thought was, I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
Came and just took a microphone and just started walking up the aisle. People were pretty surprised with that too. So, but I mean, he's an amazing artist also. I mean, he has an amazing range. I think he was having some vocal issues maybe tonight a little bit.
Yeah. And they seemed like they had some technical issues.
Some technical issues a little bit, but overall it was a good show, and I'm glad he's still making the rounds in the U.S. and playing some shows. I know he's got some West Coast shows coming up this year too, and so anyway, I guess it was
3 minutes later
the heat turns off, right? But anyway, we had a great time, and I'll probably share more. I'll probably go over the set list just for fun when we get back home, just to see exactly what he played. So yada 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 yada.
You're silly.
Happy Wednesday. So this footage here, we realized we had your phone was plugged into the car, right? So we didn't get any audio, but we had really beautiful.
Yeah, this is just on our way home. It was just a nice day, and we wanted to add it in the vlog.
Yeah, and just some beautiful. The sun was out, and it really looked beautiful at the lake. Just a quick weather update. Oh, there's a bird fly that just flew off.
Yeah, I think it was a hawk trying to eat that squirrel.
Was it? Oh, no.
There's a squirrel. He's going into the tree now.
Oh, okay.
Do you see him?
I can kind of see him. But anyway, it's raining today. Oh, there's a squirrel running down in the tree line there.
Yeah.
You can't really see him, yeah. Anyway, it's raining today, so we have this this is like a false, what were you calling it today? False spring.
It's called false spring or something like that.
False spring. You get a little bit of snow, but most of it's melting. A lot of ice still on the grass down below here. And, but it'll be nice to have maybe some warmer temperatures. I think it's going to be a little bit cold over the weekend, but then maybe a couple of warmer days so we can walk again, which will be nice. So just thought I would show this so you see what the weather looks like.
We're not really a food vlog.
That's true.
But I wanted these chocolate chip ice cream sandwiches last night. These are really good. I put it on the counter for like 5 minutes, and it got a little bit soft, and that was the right choice.
That's good. Yeah, they were good.
Because usually
I just had a little bit though.
Yeah, usually when I get these, I just take them out of the freezer and just, get into it. But waiting made them a lot better. So now I think this is going to be my thing this summer. Testing out.
You said there's 3 flavors, right?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Oh. You got the cookies and cream ice cream sandwich.
And the birthday cake.
And the birthday cake. I was thinking you might want to go for the birthday cake one.
I mean, maybe, but I really do like the original ones.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to be trying out original, chocolate chip cookie ice cream sandwiches this summer.
This will be good for our food channel, Cinnamon Dave.
Yeah, so maybe we're just testing it in this vlog.
We're just kind of testing to see whether there's any interest in testing food, maybe on another channel, maybe on this channel, maybe as part of this channel.
It could just be like little parts in the vlog so that if you don't like it, you can just move past it.
That's right, yeah. That's right. And we also have some bananas. We're sitting in the office today, and Jesse's here, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to be a little geeky maybe for anybody that's interested in Elvis Costello, but I've been a fan for so long, and I noticed I follow the Elvis Costello wiki page, which you can find on the internet, and there's also a Facebook page for it, but I noticed they didn't have a set list for Ithaca, New York, which is where we saw him and Steve Naive. And so I spent some time this morning actually trying to recreate the set list from my memory, which I think I did pretty good. He usually plays like 21 to 23 songs, at least from my analysis of the previous set list. And so I thought I would just maybe talk about the set list a little bit. So again, if you're an Elvis Costello fan, maybe this will be of interest to you. But I love it after a concert sometimes. I really think about it a lot and think about the good parts of the show, which there were mostly good parts of the show. Like you enjoyed the show too, right? As we were saying. I know we were kind of tired when we talked about the show right afterwards, but after a couple of days, it's been fun to kind of think about it.
Yeah, I had a good time. I liked the music, but I don't have a brain for remembering song order and set lists and things like that. I do remember a little bit, in the beginning, or certain lyrics that stuck out to me, but I don't typically remember the set list well. Like if you mention a song, I'd be like, oh yeah, that was good, but if you asked me did they play this song or that song, I probably wouldn't be able to tell you.
Yeah, it took me a little bit of time today, and also listening on Spotify a little bit just to confirm my choices, and also since apparently the wiki did not have a set list, and so I submitted this set list on the Facebook page to see if maybe they would add it. At least they have some information about the show, which I think is important. So for some reason, there was nothing up there. Usually the wiki page is great. It's a great resource to see where Elvis is and the shows that he's planning to do, and there's lots of details up there if you're an Elvis Costello fan. So the set list will be on the screen here, and I'll just talk a little bit about it. I guess I won't get into too much detail on it, but he came out in the beginning too. I love the fact that he came out, he had a red hat on, he had red shoes on. Of course, that's one of his songs. The Angels Want to Wear My Red Shoes.
Yeah.
So it was nice to see the red shoes, which we thought he was going to play that song, but he didn't.
Right.
But he played a couple of songs solo first, including a cover song. Then he played, Steve Naive is there, of course, also, and he plays piano. So Steve Naive came out after that, and they played When I Was Cruel #2, including a little Dancing Queen tease. A couple of classics, Less Than Zero, I Don't Want to Go to Chelsea. Then this one really surprised me too. He played Invisible Man off Punch the Clock, which I thought was a great one to hear live. I don't think I've heard that one live before. So it was nice to hear that one, all on piano, of course. The Long Honeymoon, also on piano, but from Imperial Bedroom. Then he played No Flag, which I wasn't that familiar with. Steve Naive had a recording of Iggy Pop on his keyboard that they were playing. So there was a sample of Iggy Pop on the chorus. He played Clubland with a little tease for Ghost Town. They're Not Laughing at Me Now, which I wasn't really that familiar with. Brilliant Mistake off King of America. And he talked a little bit about, at the end, about the first draft lyrics, and he kind of teased Bob Dylan's Tangled Up in Blue, which I guess he, as he was playing the chords, realized maybe that he got the idea for the song from that. He played on a Spanish guitar a little bit, and then also went into Almost Blue. Accidents Will Happen, which is classic on the piano. So it's great to hear that one live, which I think I've heard live before, but not in this particular arrangement. Shot with His Own Gun. People were really excited, at least online, about him playing So Like Candy, which I guess is not a song that he plays that often. But I always remember him on SNL playing that song with a very long beard, looked very different than Elvis Costello looks like today. Indoor Fireworks, which people were happy about. Also, he mentioned to the audience, he talks to the audience quite a bit and tells some stories. He didn't talk as much as in previous concerts, but he did talk a little bit, and he said, it seems like everyone here likes the ballads, so I think he started to lean into the ballads a little bit more.
Yeah.
I Still Have That Other Girl, which was a composition that I think he did with Burt Bacharach. Come the Meantimes, which I think is pretty much a sign that the show is coming to a close, because I had seen the other set list with that. He played a great version of Allison on keyboards, which I hadn't really seen before. I've seen him play, of course, on guitar, and including a verse of Every Day I Write the Book. And then, of course, What's So Funny About Peace, Love, and Understanding. The thing I found great about that was Steve Naive. I've never heard him sing before.
Oh, really?
I've never heard him sing before, and he sang a verse of the song, which I thought was great. People were, really excited about that. And I don't think I've ever heard him talk. I've never heard him sing or talk before, so it was kind of interesting to see that. They seem to have fun with it. And then they ended up with a version of I Can't Stand Up for Falling Down, which was really great, because that's on an album called Get Happy, and this was like a piano version of a very different version of that song. And Elvis Costello came into the audience, which is the first time I've seen that too. He came up the aisle. Everybody stood up, and they were really excited about it. There weren't a lot of phones at the show either, because it was an older crowd. So,
well, it was a little bit surprising. I thought for sure as soon as they started that everybody's phone would be out and they would be taking pictures and stuff. But a lot of people were kind of like we're just like respectfully like trying to take a little video or take a photo.
Take a photo.
Put their phone back. It wasn't like there weren't a sea of screens the whole time, which was nice.
Yeah, but at one point it just seemed like I looked up at one point too, and it just seemed like everybody was there were no lights on in the audience, right? Everybody's just watching, which is great to see. I mean, you don't have to have your phone out all the time. I didn't take a lot of video either. I took a couple of pictures, and that was it, which I like, because I could really focus on the show. But it was great to see him come out in the audience and just go up the aisle and then walk around. It was like, people were turning around their chairs and, looking for him. And then he came back up on stage on the end of the show. It looked like, I was looking through the set list this morning, that there were a couple of shows that had an encore. This show did not have an encore, really. They just played the last songs, and then they walked out, and then the house music came on, the lights came up, and everybody went out. So,
well, in other shows we've seen, he kind of does like an encore style just as the end of the show, right? Like he'll do like a song, and then they'll stand up and they'll bow, and people will clap, and people will be excited. But then he'll kind of go back and do like high intensity songs as if it were an encore, but he just never leaves the stage. Right. But he didn't really do that, except for the fact that like he walked around.
Yeah, which was again fun to see that,
Yeah.
So that's my little quick review, kind of analysis of the show. Afterwards, hopefully they'll use maybe my set list on the wiki page, because I didn't see any other information. It's been a couple of days. Usually on the wiki page they have the set list is up the next day, and for some reason for the last couple of shows it hasn't been up there. So maybe they'll use this. I'm very sure 100% accurate on the beginning of the show and the end of the show. Just the middle, I'm not exactly sure of the order. So, but I love the show, and we had a good time. And it's nice to see a concert after quite a long time. I don't think we've seen a concert in a couple of years, and it was really fun to see. So I guess that's all I was going to say about the show, and hopefully we'll get out. Maybe we'll see him again. I don't know. I always say this is probably the last time we'll see him, but then when the show comes around in the next couple of years, I remember being so excited as a kid because I was such a big fan of Elvis Costello, going to the record store, and at the time, they would have just a chalkboard with all the concerts and the releases and stuff like that, and you had to get your tickets at the record store sometimes because, Ticketmaster would be represented at the record store and you could buy your tickets there. I always remember being so excited about going to the store and seeing his name on the board and everything like that.
Right.
And so, anyway, I don't know what else there is to say about it other than we had a great time.
Yeah, I think it was a good time, and we originally saw him out like in an outdoor venue first, and then we saw him at this theater, I think. One other time, yeah. And then at a different theater. So it's been fun to see him in like different formations. But I don't know. I mean, outside, I feel like if he did like an outdoor concert, like
maybe we would go see him.
We would probably.
I kind of want to see the full band again now that we haven't seen the full band. One thing I wanted to mention too, the first time I saw him was in Cape Cod in Massachusetts, and I always remember this story. I was already a big fan, but I remember waiting in line. You'd wait around the venue. There was a huge line to get in. And people would line up early, which I don't do anymore, but I mean, people would do that. And I always remember his bus coming in, and at the time he was wearing these very unique, sunglasses. He always has a lot of good, fashion sense. And I just remember him, I remember watching the bus come in and him leaning into the sunlight with his sunglasses. And I was just like, that's one of the greatest moments, I feel like.
Yeah.
Of me going to see any performer. I just remember that. It just engraved in my memory. But I would love to go see more live music. It just seems like sometimes it's not easy to get there. There's a lot of waiting a lot of times, which is not always easy for us. But this was a pretty easy trip because the hotel was very close to the theater. We could walk there. So
I mean, I think sometimes the timing gets tricky because like if you go to a bigger venue, you need to be there early because you need to park, you need to get there. But then there's a lot of waiting. So this one works out because while there's waiting, because you have to you can only check in at the hotel at a certain time, you at least have a place to hang out for a little while, and you're not just at the venue for a really long time.
One other thing I wanted to say too before we close this little office segment is I want to say thanks to everyone who supports this channel, and also specifically who support these vlogs. We really have fun doing these vlogs. Hopefully it gives you a little bit more insight into what we are watching, what we're doing. We've added some food items sometimes, but of course this channel will always be focused on media, movies and TV and music and things like that. And we're hoping to continue that too. And maybe, if we do a little bit more traveling, if we go to the theme park, for example, we might, film a lot of it to show, to see what we do. Yeah. We watch a lot of theme park vlogs, Universal Studios and Disney and things like that. So we're kind of like, this is a little inside information, but we're kind of like preparing for that, to kind of practice that. So if we do go to a park, like Universal Studios, for example, which is all about movies, we'll film some there. Yeah. And for me, I mean, I think, when I lived in California, I had a season pass to Universal Studios and I would go quite a bit. Yeah. I wasn't, filming at the time, but hopefully we'll maybe have a chance to do that in the coming months and years and weeks.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I think originally we started vlogging because we like watching vlogs, but also we wanted kind of a place to share what we're watching in more real time, because we've done videos in the past where it's about what we're watching and they didn't really get too much traction or too much traffic. So we figured it would just be a nice way to kind of document our days and say, oh, I'm watching this, because as you can see, sometimes we're watching a lot of movies, sometimes we're watching a show, and that's the whole, the whole thing. And then if we're not watching a movie or a show, or we can talk about the news and what's happening and what we're excited about, or if we're going somewhere, you can see we're not watching things because we're doing something else.
That's true. I mean, so much of our conversations too, like when we do live streams, of course, are media related, things that we're learning about in the news, or things that we're learning about new movies coming out, or streaming services or things like that. So it's fun to talk about those things, because you and I talk about that stuff all the time, right? Books and movies. And,
well, and I think we were also talking about how a lot of people talk about media, and it's fun. It's fun to watch people talk about films and collecting television. But you don't always know like how often they're watching films, or if they, like, some people watch like 3 films a day, some people watch, a couple films a week. Like, so it was interesting to kind of share like what is our watching pace, in addition to adding new movies to the collection or unhauling movies from the collection or whatever. So it was more about having a balance between, here are the things I got,
collecting,
and here's what I've hauled, and then here's what I'm watching.
Yeah, and I think, if you've been watching this channel for a while, you know that I have a curated collection. I don't collect everything. I don't get every 4K. I have lots of DVDs. I have Blu-rays, of course. And I'll get it at 4K, once in a while if it's affordable. And we'll still be doing haul videos. We'll still be doing some, collection type videos. But this is just, something new where we can share a little bit more of what we're doing every week. And including like the weather, or someplace we're going, or whatever the case may be. So you might see more day trips maybe during, in the spring. I mean, I know we're excited about maybe getting out there a little bit more. I think the other thing too is, once we decided to go somewhere, it kind of gives us the motivation to go somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking like last March, the Barnes & Noble opened near us, so we started kind of going out a little bit more last year when we had a destination to go to. So I think we probably will be going out a bit more, because the weather gets nice and it's a little bit warmer, and it's the sun comes out. I mean, I know the sun comes out every day, but today's a very gray day compared to
rainy
yesterday.
And gray today. Yeah, that's true. So hopefully you'll come along with us. But I did want to say thank you again. And really appreciate the feedback on the vlog. I know last time we asked about if you were interested in these vlogs, and a couple people said yes, so thank you so much for that. And we will be continuing them. Like I said, I think every week we talk about the vlog, should we continue it or not? And then we end up filming things. And so we just keep going,
I think there was a time a few weeks ago, I was like, well, maybe we need to take a week off, because they were feeling, to me as the editor and people that are filming the content, it was feeling a little repetitive. But then that week we were like, oh, we're not going to film anything. It was like the longest vlog we've ever had. So I think just taking some of the pressure off is like, this is just what happens. Like some days we might miss a day. Like it's not, I think there's been a couple, I think there was like maybe last week there were a couple of days, or there was one day where there was like 2 little clips and we didn't talk. But I mean, at least there's something there. So it might be, it might not say Monday through Friday every single week, but at least there's going to be probably at least like 10 minutes worth of something.
Yeah, and plus I feel like these little office segments too, even though these always go longer, it's kind of like our live streams. When we do a live stream too, which we haven't, we wanted to do a few more of them, but I feel like if you haven't had a chance to see the live streams, they're all on the channel, so you can go back and see those. They usually have a theme to them. But this is kind of like a live stream, even though we record it. There's nobody there, no one in the chat. But I mean, we also have like a little segment where we're talking about things maybe in some more detail than just showing what a movie that I got, or those kind of things. And this just happened to be one of those weeks where we went to see a concert, so it was fun to share that with everyone. And and
I mean, as we travel more, if we travel more, when we travel more, like even if we went to a theme park, they're not going to be like 3-hour vlogs of like the content we did. Like it's going to be our same style with like smaller clips, 10 to 20 seconds here, talking about something there. Like
that'll be movie related also.
Yeah, or it'll
too,
be like, what we decided to eat or what we're doing or how it's going or what we noticed, whatever, with like an appreciation for the films that are represented or whatever. But it's not going to be 3 hours of like real time. This is how the trip went,
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, just a little maybe preview of some things to come. And we really appreciate everyone again that supports this channel. It really means a lot to us. Really sad this week over the passing of Gene Hackman, and this is I'll just show a few of the Gene Hackman movies that I have. Of course, there's so much to talk about, but I'll show a few of them. This is the imprint box set called Film Focus Gene Hackman, and it's a beautiful box set. I've done a video on this before, but you can see the films that are on here. I Never Sang for My Father, which I think is a very underrated Gene Hackman movie. Bite the Bullet, The Domino Principle, and March or Die. And it's got this beautiful picture of Gene Hackman on the back and a quote: "If you can convince people what you're doing is real and it's also bigger than life, that's exciting." Again, very sad news this week over Gene Hackman. I'm just going to go over my collection too here, and you can see a few more of the films that are some of my favorites. Obviously, The French Connection is a classic, and I have 2 copies of The French Connection on Blu-ray. There was a lot of controversy about the editing of The French Connection. At one point, I had already had a copy on Blu-ray. Have this other copy with a slip cover to have this one, which is nice to have the slip cover. Also in The Conversation, really amazing in The Conversation. I know there's a new release of this out, and I believe a box set, but I have this DVD. Which I like. I'll probably upgrade this at some point. I just haven't had a chance to upgrade that. I also, even though I have a section on Westerns, I pulled my copy of Unforgiven, which I just have again on DVD, but this is another great performance from Gene Hackman. Again, I could talk about a lot of his movies. These are just the ones that I have, and I may have a few more that I'm even, forgetting about, but thought I would show what I have. In the Warner Archive has a couple of my favorites too, one of which is this movie called Night Moves, which is coming out on Criterion this year. I'm really excited about it. It's at the top of my list with some extra features. It might be some of the extra features that are on here, even though this has just a featurette, it looks like, in a theatrical trailer. So I think there are some additional features on the Criterion release, but what a great movie that is. One of my favorite movies from the 70s, and one of my favorites from Gene Hackman. And then, of course, this classic that not a lot of people talk about, again, a very underrated movie, Gene Hackman and Al Pacino in Scarecrow. And I really like this one a lot. Great movie, again, from the 70s, 1973, directed by Jerry Schatzberg. So those are just a few of the Gene Hackman movies that I have. I'm sure there are more here. Those are just the ones that came to mind. But certainly in the comments, let me know you have a favorite Gene Hackman movie. I don't have all of them, but we'll definitely like to pick up a few more. I know there's a Mike Nichols film that my wife has on DVD, I believe, called The Birdcage, which I'd like to get, and Gene Hackman's in that. There's so many, but let me know in the comments below if you have a favorite Gene Hackman memory or a Gene Hackman movie that you like. But he's one of my favorite actors and really one of the greats, and he will be missed. One Gene Hackman movie I forgot to mention yesterday is this one, The Royal Tenenbaums, which is a great movie, one of my favorite Wes Anderson movies. It's in the Criterion Collection. It is spine number 157, so it's an earlier one. Lots of extra features on this one too. And, just as the days go by, I'm thinking about Gene Hackman more and more. So many people sharing online some of their favorite movies, and there's so many movies that I haven't even mentioned that I like him in. I don't have every one of his movies on physical media, but these are just a few that I've shown. But I'm sure I'll be getting more of them because as much as you might study an actor or director, maybe you don't have everything they've ever done. And, you think about them even more maybe when they pass away. So very sad news still. And I'm just have been thinking about Gene Hackman for the last couple days. There's another quick puzzle update. Jesse working on a new puzzle here. It looks like you're pretty much almost done with it.
Yeah, I think I'm going to finish it today. I started it earlier this week, but I don't think we shared it.
Yeah, we didn't. I don't think we shared any footage of it before, but I like this little area with the dogs over here.
Little dog, and there's some other dogs over here.
Yeah. Wow, this is a nice one. You got this one for the holidays, right? So.
Yeah.
Or at the holidays, I should say, but.
Yeah.
I just like the little sections too. What are they? Are they making like?
Making s'mores, and there's like fruit and chocolate, I think, or something, and hot chocolate. And
maybe someday I'll have the patience.
And there's all these
puzzles,
there's a squirrel and some birds and stuff over here.
Yeah, I feel like I know we've talked about this before, but I have this other channel called Dave's Energy Guide where I've been playing guitar every day. I feel like playing music is kind of like my puzzle. And then these are your actual puzzles, and then you like other things too. But for me, I like making music. That's really, but whatever you like, right? Whatever you enjoy.
That's right.
So, but that seems like more of a puzzle to me, making music or creating music. And so I was going to say too that one of the things I forgot to mention is that I've started to share little clips of our vlogs on Instagram. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, you can. All my social links are in the description of each of the videos. I'm on Letterboxd. I'm on Blue Sky. I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok still. Who knows what's going to happen on TikTok, but I'm still on there. So if you want to see maybe little clips of our new vlogs coming out, I'm going to be sharing some more, I think, as we go forward. Maybe just shorter clips on Instagram. So that's it for the puzzle for today. But it looks like you're very close.
I'm very close.
Only a few more pieces left.
Today, but I don't know where this goes. Right here? No. Right there.
There you go. That's another piece of the puzzle in place.
This one's a little tricky. There we go.